going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Imagine a bank where you feel at home. Real people living right here in your community are the heart of Bank Independent and everything we do. You have our commitment to bring the people, ideas, and resources together that create a stronger community full of endless potential. For over 75 years, we've served this place we all call home. Bank Independent. We're invested in you.
Welcome back to Lexington High School, where we just wrapped up the varsity girls contest, getting ready to start the varsity boys contest. It was a great basketball game, Corey, the girls contest. Obviously the main story, Isla Hardy, 25 points. What a fantastic showing. And then the real separation of the game was the final 5 minutes of the first half and the first 5 minutes of the second half, where Central just exploded, really separated from Lexington in that point, and then just made it an insurmountable lead in the third.
Yeah, you saw two teams going at it, both teams that are constructed similarly in that they want to press, they want to run up and down the floor. They're trying to turn you over as much as possible so that they can get their transition started. In that game, Central was more effective at converting the looks that they got than Lexington was, and when they made that run and stretched things out, it was because they were able to convert. Lexington got good looks and wasn't able to finish, and then ultimately frustrations led to some turnovers, and then Central really just did a nice job of hanging on and did a great job of spreading the floor around, balancing things. Good effort from both teams as they go into area tournament play later on this week. Both of them can pull some positives from getting through tonight.
Of course, obviously, Isla Hardy, the clubhouse leader for Central, 25 points. The leader for Lexington, Cammie Collier, the freshman, with 14 of her own. Just a great basketball game. As we get set for the varsity boys contest, I'm Bryce Balch, joined by Corey Thomaston, and alongside our producer, Sam Camp. Get ready to announce starting lineups for Central. The starters will be number 0, Aiden Haddock. Number 2, Malik Ball. Number 5, Jackson Kelly. Number 10, Cole Wilcoxon. Number 22, Samuel Eddins. And for Lexington, the starters, number 0, Aiden Chambers. Number 1, Sawyer Howard. Number 2, Zane Kilburn. Number 4, Landon Carlock. And number 23, Will White. As we get set for this game, what are you looking forward to, Corey?
Yeah, I just think, again, much of the same thing for both of these programs. This game and the standings doesn't mean anything. It's about coming out and competing tonight, coming out and showing up and showing what they're capable of doing, figuring out how to find an area that they want to be better in tonight and focusing on that. Coach Bryant been doing this for a long time for Central, has had a lot of success, and Coach Killen stepping in here doing a great job with the Lexington Golden Bears program. They're able to honor Will White right now. Give a chance to honor him scoring 1,000 points for his career. What a great accomplishment for the small forward, senior Will White, honored here in the pregame. And again, both of these teams are looking to execute tonight. They're trying to figure out what do they have, what can they go to off their bench, what does that look like for them, and just really finding a way to be successful in what they're trying to do.
Of course, got area tournaments coming up this weekend. Both these teams concluding the regular season tonight. Just kind of trying to perfect your game. Figure out what's working for you. As we talked about during the girls' game, you've seen all these teams you're going to see this weekend so many times already this season. You know exactly what they want to do. You know exactly what you want to do. And tonight's the night where you got to perfect it. You got to shorten your rotation. You got to kind of figure out who's going to be the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So really excited for that tonight. Have a great basketball game. Of course, high school basketball on the X Sports Network is brought to you by Bank Independent. Bank Independent is excited to team up with the University of North Alabama to help students succeed. If you're a Bank Independent customer, you qualify for a 20% tuition scholarship at UNA. That's real savings for your future college plans. Learn more at bibank.com/scholarship. Bank Independent, built to serve, not to sell. Member FDIC.
Yeah, and let's just talk about it for a minute. What a fun year this has been. High school football, high school basketball. what a fun year it's been to be able to cover so many great athletic programs throughout the year in football season and now basketball as we wrap up the basketball season on the last day of the regular season tonight. This has been a great environment, a great opportunity to just showcase what the student athletes in Northwest Alabama and Southern Tennessee have the ability to do. It's been a pleasure to be able to call these games and to work alongside so many talented people. And again, congratulations to you, Bryce, getting started working with us at Bank Independent. Got started yesterday, had your first day on the job today. Looking forward to you continuing to grow in that career. But, man, this is another exciting opportunity to call one final game of the season on the hardwood as these two teams are preparing to step into post-season basketball.
Really big time of the year for both these teams. Cole Wilcoxon heads to tip for Central, and for Lexington it will be Will White, obviously honored pregame for his 1,000th career point. We get set for some high school basketball on the X Sports Network. Once again, I'm Bryce Balch, joined by Corey Thomaston alongside our producer Sam Camp. Ready for tip-off here at Lexington High School. Wilcoxon takes it. Tip is controlled by Malik Ball, and Central will start this game with the basketball.
2-3 zone look here early from Lexington. Want to be really active with their hands and notifying the cutters that are coming through.
Central open look in the corner. Three-pointer rattles off the top of the backboard, but offensive board will keep possession with the Wildcats.
So hard to rebound out of the 2-3 zone if you're not really active while the ball's in the air. If you wait till it hits the rim or the backboard in that case before you react, it's going to result in an offensive rebound.
Wilcoxon looks like he wanted the three. He'll drop it off instead, gets it back, takes the second shot, rattles out. Rebounded by White.
Yeah, good look that time. Wanted it the first time, didn't take it, took it the second time, in and out, all the way down, and then came out.
Carlock with the basketball. Lexington will swing it around a couple times, gets it underneath to White. Baseline pass, Sawyer Howard drops it off for White. He's got two, and Lexington's on the board first.
Yeah, really good job of reversing the basketball and getting a baseline pin that time by White. Good feed into the post, easy bucket.
Central trying to do some of the same. Wilcoxon finds the cutter baseline. That's Jackson Kelly. He's fouled on his way up. He'll head to the free throw line to shoot two.
Two ways to break down a 2-3 zone. One of those is dribble drive penetration. The other one is high-low looks from the free throw line. That time got the touch at the free throw line and immediately turned and looked at his counterpart down low. Great look. Wasn't able to finish through the contact, but got to the free throw line.
First free throw is good from Kelly. Looks for the second shot. It's up and it's in. 2-2. 6 minutes, 49 seconds to go. Just over a minute into this one. Central breaking out a little full-court press. Nice tap from behind by Malik Ball. Gets that one out of the hands of the Golden Bears, and Central's heading back on offense. Ball looking for some help in the middle to Wilcoxon. Same drop-off baseline to Kelly. This time the ball's batted around a couple times and out of bounds. Possession favors the Wildcats.
Yeah, one of the things about the full court press is that you don't have to always get a turnover in the backcourt. That time, Central gets all the way to the front court, and then they get the deflection and results in a turnover and gets the possession back.
Malik Ball goes up with it. This one won't go. Rebounded on the defensive end by Sawyer Howard. All the way to the rim goes Landon Carlock, and he gets the two to go.
Yeah, nice strong finish that time by Carlock. Through the contact, no call, shouldn't have been, but a great job of finishing at the point of attack that time.
Central still trying to figure out how to attack this Lexington zone. The three-point attempt no good from Aiden Haddock and into the hands of the Golden Bears.
Yeah, and that time Central only gets one touch before they take a shot. Really playing into the zone what you're trying to get out of it. If you're not getting ball reversal or inside-out looks, you can be really effective with your zone defense.
Central able to get the stop on the defensive end, but stifled inside is Central. Great pressure by Lexington on defense, able to knock that ball loose and force the turnover.
Both teams a little rusty as they start the game, just unable to secure the basketball, a couple of turnovers, but both teams just trying to feel each other out, again coming off of a night last night where they're playing a game that counts in their area standings and turning around tonight and trying to play a non-conference game sometimes it's hard to get players to stay focused on what you're trying to accomplish.
And we talked about it several times during the girls' game, just so many games in the past week for these teams due to cancellations and postponements in the past week, as Will White draws the blocking foul, head to the free throw line, knocks down the first shot.
White has a pretty complete game. He really does a nice job on the post-up, as we saw in the first possession, off the bounce. He can shoot the perimeter jumper, but he's active and present in every single possession.
White knocks down both at the line. He's got 4 of Lexington's 6 points. 3 minutes into this one, Malik Ball bringing it up the floor for the Wildcats. Skip it around, Ball at the point. Dribbles back, resets, skips it over to Haddock. Haddock in the middle, back out to Ball. Wilcoxon and Ball, a little two-man game. Ball looks like he wanted to step back a little bit there. Instead, they give it to Haddock. Wilcoxon in the corner, drives baseline, skips it. Ball looks like he wanted the 3, drives instead, floats it up. Lost possession of the basketball on his way up, and that one rebounded by Landon Carlock. Full court skip pass, Carlock underneath the layup. Nearly an and one finish from Zane Kilburn right there, but instead he'll head to the free throw line and shoot 2 shots.
Yeah, Carlock with a great advance in transition that time. 60-foot pass diagonal, great run out by Kilburn. Kilburn able to get the foul called on the little up fake off of 2 feet. Nice job that time in transition. What you saw that time from Central, where they were really successful hitting the free throw line and getting the high-low look, that time the ball just moved around the perimeter. Never broke the three-point line until the penetration, and then you get an off-balance shot. Great possession that time of defense.
Central trying to figure out this Lexington zone. Hadn't quite been able to get anything going on offense yet. Nearly halfway through the first quarter, just 2 points for the Wildcats. They'll switch it up a little bit. Wilcoxon brings this one up the floor. They swing it, Ball in the corner. Drives baseline, back outside to Wilcoxon. Looking for a screen. He gets it. Not much comes out of it, though. Skips it. Ball and Wilcoxon. A deep 3. No good. Great defensive rebound there by Aiden Chambers. And he goes all the way to the rack. Finishes over Wilcoxon, and Central needs a timeout, a 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick break with them. You're watching high school basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent.
Well, I think Fame and Muscle Shoals music is here because we're fiercely independent. And in the early days, it was hard because it was hard for banks to get their head around, we're going to give these hippies some money to go make music. We've been doing business with Bank Independent since the 70s, and to know that they've got our back, it means a lot, and it just kind of takes the stress off of doing business day to day. They've always been there, and it's always been a phone call away.
Welcome back to Lexington High School. Lexington leads Central 10-2. 4 minutes and 8 seconds into this one. Corey, it feels like Lexington's had control of this game since the opening tip.
Yeah, this defense is really causing some challenges for Central. That last couple of possessions, they've gone to this high screen. The problem is they're screening the inside of the 2 defenders up top, so the second one's just picking up the ball, and they're not getting any pick and pop or pick and dive action out of that, and having a hard time of just getting the ball to move. Now you see a couple of skip passes. I'm sure that's what Coach Bryant talked about, is we've got to get some movement without the basketball. We talked about that in the girls' game, of penetration happening or guys getting the ball and everybody just standing and watching. Offenses are not very effective if people don't move.
Samuel Edens goes up, gets the foul, head to the free throw line, a chance at 2 shots here. Central, got to get something going on offense. Maybe getting to the free throw line is that offense for him tonight, as Edens knocks down his first shot.
Much better possession that time out of the timeout. Got a couple of ball reversals. If you can get the defense to start shifting, then you can beat them, because there will come a time where you're creating a seam.
Edens knocks down both. Central up to 4 points in this one. Trailing Lexington 10-4, 3.5 minutes to go. Lexington back on offense. Landon Carlock drops it off in the corner. Back to Carlock on the wing. Little ball reversal there from Lexington. The three-pointer from Chambers on the way and in.
Very efficient possession that time. Just patient enough to get what they wanted out of it. Penetration draws the defense, kick out, and a great clean look from about 20 feet that time, 22 feet.
The first three-pointer tonight by either team comes by way of Aiden Chambers. Wilcoxon and Ball. Two-man game at the top. You've seen it a lot tonight. Just quite hadn't been able to figure it out. Ball trying to get it inside. Not able to. Baseline drive. Central floats it up. Off the rim and no good. Aiden Haddock's shot rattles out but won't go home. Wilcoxon nearly steals it, but controlled by Lexington and turned over. Stolen by Jackson Kelly. Edens all the way inside, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by White.
One of the things Lexington is able to do out of this zone look is they are getting some natural traps, which are causing some problems for Central. Now Central is showing a little bit of a zone look here.
Lexington, cross-court pass, corner three, puts it up and in, rattles home. Cross-court pass from Aiden Chambers. Knocks down the three-pointer, does Zane Kilburn, and Lexington leads 16-4.
If you're Coach Killen, this is about as good of a start as you could have asked for. They've gotten great stops on defense, clean looks on offense, and they're able to convert those.
Ball looking for some help. Wilcoxon, the baseline pass, they get it in the middle. Edens, up, no good. Rebounded by White. Chambers trapped, finds a cutter baseline, they put it up, no good. Offensive rebound to the Golden Bears. Another corner three from Kilburn. This one won't go home, rebounded by Edens on the defensive end. And Central, for what feels like the first time tonight, able to get a little bit of a transition, not able to make much of it work though. Pass turned over from Ball, stolen by Kilburn. Goes up with it, won't go. And we've got a jump ball on the rebound.
Yeah, really unfortunate turnover that time by Ball. But I'm going to tell you what, the credit to him getting back in transition defense and contesting that shot without fouling. What a great job of giving his team another chance, another possession there. When he could have been frustrated by the turnover on one end, he was able to flush it crossing half court and do a nice job of getting a defensive stop on the other end.
Able to get it into White underneath their own basket. Wanted to go up for a second, but he'll pull it back out instead. White in the corner, 44 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Central back into their half-court man now, one-on-one isolation.
White drives, kicks back out, three-point attempt from Hanley's on the way, won't go. Edens the rebound on the other end. Skips, baseline, floats it up, no good. Offensive rebound for the Wildcats, get in the middle. Baseline cut, layup is good. Blake Johnson able to put that one up and in for two.
Edens hasn't been able to convert, but he's been really active on the offensive end of the floor. He's gotten some good looks, and Central just fighting hard through that possession that time and rewarded.
Tremendous layup there from Aiden Chambers. Fights through the contact, across a couple defenders, and knocks down the layup before the end of the first quarter. Lexington leads at home 18-6. We'll take a quick break here watching high school basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent.
You know, Storing Lee Furniture is not just some huge chain store, but we do have a 144,000 square foot showroom right here in Leoma, Tennessee. The Story family has worked together in the business now for 55 years. Ace is here to help you with whatever you need. That's what being a part of the community right here in the Tennessee Valley means. And if you have an issue, we're right here to take care of it. And don't forget free delivery. We invite you to come see us. We're Storing Lee Furniture.
Hi, Shoals. Cold weather outside means it's time for a hot deal from Bowler. It's free furnace February, and it's our best offer of the entire year. Through February, when you buy any qualifying system, we'll throw in the furnace or heat pump air handler free, including our top brands you know and trust. To sweeten the deal, we also have special financing. So don't wait. Warm up to free furnace February, only from Bowler Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical. Call us at 256-381-7195. Alabama HVAC license 91114.
Welcome back to Lexington High School. The Golden Bears leading the Wildcats 18-6 after the first quarter. Here's a reminder that tonight's game is brought to you by Bank Independent, proudly serving our community since 1947. From personal banking to business solutions, Bank Independent's committing to helping North Alabama thrive. Built to serve, not to sell, member FDIC. As Edens knocks down the mid-range jumper, quick 2 points out of the quarter break for Central might be what they needed.
Yeah, we were just talking about him at the end of the first quarter, how active he's been. He's gotten a lot of touches, and that time he was able to convert.
Lexington able to pull down an offensive rebound after a missed shot. Second try, mid-range jumper from Landon Carlock is in.
I like the confidence with that. He gets the ball on the kick out from the loose ball on the offensive rebound and goes straight into a rhythm shot, knocks it down.
Edens kicks it back out for the three. Johnson, one dribble, step inside the three-point line, knocks down the jumper. It's a 10-point lead.
A lot more rhythm to start this quarter than there was to start the game, as both these teams look like they're settling in a little bit.
Get it inside to White, does Lexington. Puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Wilcoxon. They're running in transition. Wilcoxon goes up through the contact, knocks down the layup. I think that's the first time tonight Central's had more than 2 points consecutively.
Yeah, that was not the prettiest transition break, but very effective. Wilcoxon with a tough finish.
Nearly the steal from Wilcoxon. White's second try layup, no good. And Lexington will step out of bounds. It'll be Central basketball. And what a chance here for Central, a chance to score on 3 straight possessions and cut this lead down as many as 5 on this offensive set.
Yeah, big possession here. Feels like a big possession early in the first half here, as they've had good possessions in a row. Now getting that high look back.
Edens goes up with it on the baseline. Just a little bit too strong. Rolls in, rolls out into the hands of the Golden Bears. And they'll head to the free throw line as Aiden Chambers is fouled.
I like the possession there from Chambers. He doesn't have numbers, but he does have an angle in transition, continuing to push until the defense stops you. That's kind of the rule there. And then once you get inside the free throw line, you're going to the rim. You're trying to score at that point. And he knows that he's got the defense off balance, and he just attacks right at him and gets himself to the free throw line. After a couple of maybe not the cleanest possessions, getting yourself settled in, now you can set your defense again coming off the free throw line.
Chambers knocks down the first shot at the line. His second shot good as well. 10-point lead once again for Lexington Central. Coming back the other way, Cole Wilcoxon has been trying to get going on offense for Central, but him or the rest of the Wildcat team haven't seemed to found their groove yet. Wilcoxon directing traffic.
Yeah, not a lot going on here, just a little side-to-side dribble. Wilcoxon is the tallest player on the floor for Central, running the point for them with ball on the bench.
White, the steal, heads the other way, bounce pass to Chambers. His three-pointer won't go. Rebounded Wilcoxon on the other end. Drives inside, floats it, free throw line, fouled, and one. Wilcoxon fights through the contact, once again puts that one up, gets it to go.
Yeah, the value of a stop. He had a clean look down here by Chambers for Lexington, in and out, and Wilcoxon cleans it and goes coast to coast. Again, similar situation as what we saw on the other end. You see that you don't necessarily have numbers, but you've got the angles. You're going to attack those until they stop you. He's hard to stop in transition. Nice finish there, and then converts the three-point play.
Wilcoxon converts it. It's an 8-point lead for Lexington.
Now a little half-court trap here, extending their defense for Central out of this 1-3-1.
Chambers, baseline drive. He'll pick up the offensive foul, just a little too out of control on that one, and the offensive foul drawn by Colin Barnes.
Yeah, and that's, if you have the benefit of the circle there that they do in the college game, that's probably going to be a defensive foul because he was so deep. But for Chambers, just a little out of control that time, unable to stay on balance.
22-15. Lexington leads this one. Wilcoxon tries to get it in the middle, pass deflected by White. 3-on-1, Lexington has numbers. White drops it off, up and under. Goes Landon Carlock for two.
White looking like a point guard in transition that time. Never even gives an indication of which direction he's going. Looks right, throws left, and feeds it for a fine finish there.
Quick trigger from Wilcoxon on the other end, and beautiful move. Got Wilcoxon a bite there from Carlock. but he couldn't finish the layup, and White's second try also won't fall. All the way up the floor to Jackson Kelly as he picks up the offensive foul.
Good transition defense that time. We saw it on the other end, an offensive foul called, and this time Lexington does a great job of sprinting to the rim in defense and getting set up, and Central not able to adjust.
Central a little full court press. Throws Lexington off a little bit. Pass stolen by Johnson. Baseline drive. Wilcoxon goes up, fights through the contact once again, and gets the layup to go. He's a little slow getting up, but Lexington will take a quick timeout. We'll take a quick break with them. We're watching high school basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent.
Have you ever seen those halftime scholarships where you have to nail a 40-yard field goal? Yeah, this isn't that. I didn't have to write a long essay or audition or make a half-court shot. I just had to open a Bank Independent account, use my debit card, sign up for online banking, and have a positive balance. That's it. A 20% scholarship to UNA. When Bank Independent invests in students like me, they're investing in all of us and the future of our community. Bank Independent. We're invested in your future.
Welcome back to Lexington High School. The Golden Bears lead Central 24-17. 4 minutes, 27 seconds to play left in the first half. Lexington basketball, Corey. Central fighting back a little bit here in the second. Unfortunate offensive foul a couple possessions ago, but, I mean, really good stretch for them right here.
Yeah, it's been a great 3.5 minutes. You can tell they made some adjustments in just the way they wanted to attack things. They've gotten out and run with pace a little bit more, and they've gotten a couple of stops on the defensive end. They're trying a couple of different things. They've extended the half-court trap. They've packed it in and trapped it, and just trying to throw some different looks at Lexington and making them adjust possession by possession.
Three-pointer corner, no good from Lexington, and we'll have a reach-over foul here.
One of the things you saw early in the game was Lexington was getting a good, clean look. They were hitting shots early, but they were also getting second chance opportunities. The last few possessions, Central has done a much better job of owning the boards, giving up one look, and that's led to them either getting a foul like that possession or getting out in transition.
Pass there from Wilcoxon off the hands of Parrish and out of bounds. And I think Lexington switched it up a little bit. I think they started in a 2-3 zone, and now they've gone to a bit of a 3-2 zone. Trying to combat Central going baseline so much.
I think both of the teams just want to see what they've got available. What are they confident in going into the weekend? They're going to throw some different looks out there at this point in the season. There's not a lot of secrets in the bag. And so for you, it's like, okay, what are our guys confident in? Let's go with that, and let's see how it works so that we have what we want to game plan around for the weekend in the area tournament.
Sawyer Howard pass just a little bit too strong. It'll sail out of bounds, be Central possession on this one. 3 minutes, 18 seconds left in the half. Wilcoxon across half court, drops it off. Looking for some help. Parrish turns that one over once again, stolen by Kilburn. All the way to the rim goes Kilburn, and he will be whistled for the offensive foul. They will say Johnson was set. Some disagreeing voices in the crowd, and I may be on their side.
There's no doubt that he had already made his move to the rim, and the Central defender came in late and slid up underneath him. But, again, he calls that foul trailing from the backside. Maybe not in the best position to see that. It's unfortunate, but it is the call, and you got to play through it.
Whistle goes against Lexington. Central have another chance at points here. Wilcoxon settles in, skips it to the corner. Part of a baseline drive and then a cross-court pass. It ends up back in the hands of Wilcoxon. A deep three on the way. Misses the rim, the net, and the backboard, and bounces out of bounds.
28 feet there with the ball not really moving. Probably not the look that Coach Bryant was wanting. He's trying to get them to get back to that inside-out approach and get those looks from that direction. Probably a wasted possession there coming off that turnover on the previous defensive possession.
Carlock across to Chambers. Chambers splits defenders, drives all the way underneath. and loses the basketball, falls in the hands of Blake Johnson. Eddings out of control, lost it himself, and possession to the Bears.
Both teams really putting a lot of pressure on the basketball and forcing things to be dictated by the ball handlers right now, and so far it's been a little bit inconsistent.
They whistle Wilcoxon for the foul, and then they're going to say he had some choice words.
Yeah, the technical, I believe, is going to be on Eddings. I believe they called the technical on 22 after the foul was called on Wilcoxon.
Carlock heads to the line after Eddings' technical foul, and that's the last thing you want to see if you're Central right here. Cut into the lead. We're able to keep it at 7 for what felt like forever, but 2 free points for Lexington, and then they'll have possession of the basketball after the technical foul shots.
Yeah, and as a coach, you would like to see the referee, rather than having the quick technical trigger there, unless it was just egregious, you'd like to see him just step in and say, hey, that's enough. We're not going to listen to that. We're not going to tolerate that out here tonight. Give him a warning and tell him if it happens again, then you call the technical. But that was a quick trigger on that technical foul, so he might have said the wrong thing.
Will White goes over the back. They'll whistle him for the foul. That'll be the 15th foul on Lexington. Central in the bonus. They'll head to the free throw line for some free shots here towards the end of the half.
Bryce, you've been around the game for a long time. How do you feel about the 5-count fouls per quarter, getting to the line, shooting 2, no longer having the 1-and-1, and erasing it at the end of each quarter? What is your thoughts on that?
It depends what side of the game I'm on. If it's my team, I want to be shooting 2 shots every time. But, I mean, I'm a huge college basketball fan, college basketball purist. I love the 1-and-1 at 7 shots, and then obviously a different game with 4 quarters versus 2 halves.
Sure.
I love the 1-and-1. It makes it such a volatile game and feels like you're never really out of it.
Right, yeah.
White and Carlock pass it to one another at the top of the line. Carlock drives, baseline pass, wide open. White underneath the basket, an easy 2 points.
Just so active without. I mean, he does a great job. He never stops moving and just plays with a relentless energy.
Really feels like that's what Central's missing, somebody moving off the ball and creating without the basketball in their hands. 3-point attempt off Haddock on the way, rebounded by White once again. Carlock to Chambers. Back to Carlock. Dribbles, skips, cross court, in the corner. Kilburn, back to Carlock. Baseline, easy layup, Sawyer Howard. 2 points, it's an 11-point lead for Lexington.
White drawing so much attention there as you got 2 down posts against that zone. One quick ball fake creates a wide open look. Great possession there, and this is a huge defensive possession if you're Central. The lead's just gotten to double figures now, less than a minute to go. Got to get a stop here. Don't want to get this thing out of hand as you go into the halftime.
No, you've been around the game a long time. It's very important right before the half and then right out of the half.
Yeah.
Get a good finish and then a good start to the second half. It feels like the most important 10 minutes of the game is how it was always described to me.
Yeah.
And Lexington, a tremendous finish to this half. And same thing we saw in the girls' game. Central, a great finish to the first half and a great start to the second half. Central looks a little frustrated on offense, especially Cole Wilcoxon, trying to get things going, but just haven't been able to find it yet. Wilcoxon to the corner. Burns. Corner 3. No good.
That's one of the best looks that Central has gotten in the last few possessions. I thought their offensive patience that time was as good as it's been. They've got to have some of those shots find the bottom. That was a good look, clean look there by Barnes, just unable to convert.
6 seconds on the clock for Carlock. Drives all the way to the rim, off the glass, and good. 32-19, the Lexington lead at the half. We'll be back with first half stats and a little conversation after a while. Why don't you stay with us? You're watching high school basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent.
How long do you need?
In 1947, A group of farmers in North Alabama started a bank because they believed a local bank investing in local people is the key to making a positive difference in the community. Locally owned and operated, Bank Independent is committed to investing in our local communities.
Hi, Shoals. Cold weather outside means it's time for a hot deal from Bowler. It's free furnace February, and it's our best offer of the entire year. Through February, when you buy any qualifying system, we'll throw in the furnace or heat pump air handler free, including our top brands you know and trust. To sweeten the deal, we also have special financing, so don't wait. Warm up to free furnace February, only from Bowler Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical. Call us at 256-381-7195. Alabama HVAC license 91114.
Hey folks, you'll never guess where I'm at today. That's right, I'm at my Quick Mart store. Starting off with a fresh cup of coffee, and guess what's next? The biscuit. That was quick and easy, and I'm ready to start my day. Head on over to your favorite Quick Mart store and start your day out right.
Welcome back to halftime of the boys game here at Lexington High School, where the host Lexington Bears lead 32-19 over the visitors from Central. I'm joined now for our halftime interview with Coach Adam Cummins, the girls basketball coach of Lexington High School. Coach, tough game tonight, but you guys are immediately transitioning into what's ahead for your basketball team. Give me a little bit of recap of what you thought about tonight, and then let's start talking about this weekend.
Yeah, I thought tonight was okay. In spurts, we played really well. When we moved the ball and moved ourselves on offense, we got good looks that typically ended up with points, and when we didn't do that, we didn't score. So defensively, they're a tough team. Got some size, got some speed. Hard for us to get all that covered, but overall, I'd say a good night for us just going into the area tournament.
Yeah, two teams tonight, both play similar styles. A lot of pressing, a lot of trapping in the half-court set. Both teams want to get out and run a little bit. But when you run into a situation tonight where you've got the Hardy girl who's just knocking down shot after shot, Coach, what are you trying to do to be able to isolate a situation, to keep the ball out of her hands and make somebody else beat you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with our denial of the basketball to her. The last time we played, we face guarded, and they screened us to death, and they did a good job tonight as well. And it's hard to keep it out of her hands, but once it's there, we have got to make it difficult on her to get to the rim, get her shot off. And we did that at times, and then others.
Sure.
And even when we did it sometimes, well, she still scores. She's a very, very good basketball player.
Yeah, she does a nice job of playing without the basketball too, and that makes her equally difficult. She did a lot of things on the offensive boards, got second chance opportunities for them.
Absolutely.
Tonight's over. Regular season's done. All the work that you put in comes into one night in February. Talk about the matchup. You had your coin flip today, and unsuccessful on the coin flip means you're the 2 seed going on the road for the tournament now.
Yep.
Who do you play? What does the matchup look like?
We play Tanner in the first game, which we played them last night as our last regular season game. And, man, they are tough. They are very athletic, quick, long, and they play this 1-2-2 spread it out kind of zone on defense and gave us a lot of trouble last night. We were able to press a little late. It kind of got us. We were up maybe 10 or 12 that pushed it out to about 20. And that really was the difference. I mean, they kept taking it to us, shooting free throws, and gave us fits. And so not really looking forward to having to go back and try to beat them again, but
it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a year.
Yeah.
At this point, there are no secrets. Everything's out of the bag. It's about execution in that night.
Yeah.
At times tonight looked like there was some fatigue setting in, some legs that looked like they were just a little bit heavy. I know that 7-day break really affected the conditioning for a lot of teams, and you're starting to see now that they're making up all these games, you're starting to see some of that play. How do you get rest over the next couple of days as you prepare for the largest game of the season?
Yeah, this was day 6 in a row. with back-to-back games. And so tomorrow we're going to go hard for about 45 minutes and send them home because this is really the only time we might can sneak in a little break for our players, because we want to be prepared to keep going as long as we can. And so I just feel like we got to get our legs under us a little bit before Friday, so because Tanner's going to be ready, and we definitely got to execute better than we did last night.
Yeah, let's talk about your guard play as we kind of wrap this up. And you've got a freshman guard who's really been the catalyst for you guys in the way that she makes you go. Collier does such a nice job on both sides of the ball, and arguably a better defensive player right now than she is offensive player. What do you need to see from her in this environment to go on the road and get a couple of wins and take that hardware home?
Yeah, I keep doing what she's doing. Limit the turnovers. She is the spark plug that kind of gets us going offensively. And when she scores, it's a huge bonus for us. But she's a fierce defender. She has no off button. So yeah, we want her to keep doing what she's doing, distribute the basketball. We do need her to look for her shot some so that she becomes a viable option for us, and we don't have to play defense or we don't have to play offense with four, and they're guarding us with five. So
right.
But she's doing a heck of a job, especially as a freshman.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've got shooters all around the floor. You've got the kids that just play hard. They get after it. Coach, been a really solid regular season. Everything that you've done to this point, the record 0-0, execute for the next few days and get things done. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
What night do you guys play?
We play Friday night at 7:30 at Decatur Heritage versus Tanner.
Is that the last game of the day?
That's the last game, yeah.
So a chance to watch and see how other things unfold for your potential opponents coming up. But one game matters. Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you.
Yep, appreciate it.
Have you ever seen those halftime scholarships where you have to nail a 40-yard field goal? Yeah, this isn't that. I didn't have to write a long essay or audition or make a half-court shot. I just had to open a Bank Independent account, use my debit card, sign up for online banking, and have a positive balance. That's it. A 20% scholarship to UNA. When Bank Independent invests in students like me, they're investing in all of us and the future of our community. Bank Independent. We're invested in your future.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Cold weather outside means it's time for a hot deal from Bowler. It's free furnace February, and it's our best offer of the entire year. Through February, when you buy any qualifying system, we'll throw in the furnace or heat pump air handler free, including our top brands you know and trust. To sweeten the deal, we also have special financing. So don't wait. Warm up to free furnace February, only from Bowler Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical. Call us at 256-381-7195. Alabama HVAC license 91114.
Imagine a bank where you feel at home. Real people living right here in your community are the heart of Bank Independent and everything we do. Bank Independent. We're invested in you.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back to Lexington High School. Lexington leads Central 32-19 at the half. I'm Bryce Balch, joined by Corey Thomaston and our producer Sam Kemp. Corey, first half stats, some takeaways. What you got?
Yeah, 13-point lead at the half for Lexington. They were led by Carlock. Carlock had 10, scored 8 points in the second quarter, followed closely by Aiden Chambers with 9, Kilburn with 5, White with 6, and Howard rounds out the scoring with 2. On the other side of the ball, Central picked it up a little bit in the second quarter behind Cole Wilcoxon, who had 7 in the second quarter and has 7 for the half. 4 points each for Johnson and Edens, and then Haddock with 2. as we go to the start of the third quarter.
Central got to get somebody other than Wilcoxon involved. I mean, just haven't been able to create much, haven't been able to create anything off the dribble, and struggling to do anything off ball also.
Yeah, really the turnovers against the zone were probably their biggest problem in the first half, is they just didn't value the basketball and get enough clean looks.
Lexington to start the second half with the basketball. Possessed by Landon Carlock. Crosses the timeline, and the Golden Bears will go to work in the second half. Carlock skips it. Corner three. Kilburn knocks it down.
Kilburn with a smooth stroke, really in rhythm release that time. Has great patience by Lexington. Does a nice job of collapsing the defense and finding the open look from the corner.
3 quick points for Lexington. Let's see how Central can answer on offense. Wilcoxon baseline drive, skips it out. 3-point shot on the way from Haddock, and he knocks that one down.
Yeah, Haddock's had some good clean looks tonight. That time creates his own shot off the kick out. But again, penetration by Wilcoxon, collapses the defense.
We've got a three-pointer on the other end. 3-point barrage in the second half for these two teams who didn't shoot a lot of threes in the first half.
No, it's just right out the gate. They looked a little bit more comfortable to start the second. Obviously, they're looking a little bit more comfortable to start the third.
Wilcoxon, free throw fadeaway, won't go. Offensive rebound will stay with the Wildcats. Edens to Haddock. Haddock to Ball. Ball inside to Kelly. Edens, one dribble, pull-up jumper, way short, may have been deflected by White.
Yeah, good defense that time. Both shots that Central took, Lexington did a nice job of contesting.
White settles in on the other end, turn around, fadeaway jumper, rattles all across the rim and goes down.
Good patience that time by White. If you don't double him, he has the ability to elevate. At 6'3", he can get up over top and get a good clean look at the rim. That time got a friendly touch on the bounce.
A little miscommunication there from Kelly and Wilcoxon, and it's a turnover. Lexington nearly doubling up Central quick in the second half, 40-22, the Golden Bears lead at home.
Took a lot of energy out of Central to cut it to 7 after they got behind early on, and now you're seeing Lexington just finding another gear and Central unable to respond.
White going to work underneath, finds some help outside in Howard. Howard all the way to the rack for 2.
Yeah, one of the problems on the reverse out of the inside against the zone is if you don't close out with a great angle, you're liable to give up penetration, and that's exactly what we saw there as the good kick out pass by White leads to penetration and a good finish at the rim.
Nearly stolen away by Kilburn, and Lexington almost with a fast break opportunity, but it'll stay with Central. Malika Ball controls it for the Wildcats. Edens back to Ball. One dribble, step back jumper. No good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Aiden Chambers. Lexington out in transition. They want to run. Chambers. Deep three-pointer from Carlock on the way. No good. And a team rebound for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Central's just settling for some maybe not the best looks at the rim. A step back 3 against no defense where you really just created a tougher shot for yourself on the previous possession. They're giving up shots up top because they're okay. If Central takes those, Central has to be a little bit more disciplined to try to get what they're wanting instead of just giving in to what Lexington wants them to have.
Ball controls it. Wanted to step into a 3, but won't take it. Hands it off to Haddock. Off to Wilcoxon. Back to Haddock. 3-point shot on the way. No good. Rebounded by the Golden Bears. Chambers across the timeline.
Central has to play with a little sense of urgency. Down 20 right here, a couple possessions. You just don't get enough between this point with halfway through the third quarter.
Will White able to finish that one at the rim, 44-22. Deep 3 on the way. Wilcoxon won't go. Rebounded by Edens. Able to keep possession with the Wildcats, and Wilcoxon will have it for a second chance. Ball to Wilcoxon. Looked like he wasn't ready for the pass. Back out to Ball. Edens in the corner. Drives to the free throw line. Back outside. Haddock. 3 on the way. This one's good.
Yeah, he's been their most consistent threat from the perimeter. He's got to stay active. He stood for a lot of that possession, and once he finally moves, he found a seam and got a good look.
Chambers, the answer on the other end, won't go, but White, second chance. Pump fake, free throw line jumper from Carlock. Won't go, rebounded Wilcoxon for the Wildcats. Skips it to the corner for Ball. Ball, one dribble, back to Wilcoxon. He'll take a three. Off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound, second try from Haddock off the back iron and no good. Possession will stay with the Wildcats.
Yeah, we talked about Wilcoxon's second quarter where he had 7 points. All of those were going to the rim. He's now taken, I think, 5 or 6 threes. That's his third one in the second half alone, and he's just not able to find that shot. He really needs to insert himself into the game inside the three-point line if he wants to get active and get to the glass and score, maybe get himself to the free throw line. He's got to be a bigger part of their offense, and he's settling for perimeter jumpers right now.
Another perimeter jumper for Central on that possession. This one doesn't go. White fade away on the offensive end. Can't get that one to fall either. Ball all the way to the rack. No good.
Good strong take that time, just unable to convert. Good job in transition.
All the way to the rim. Lexington may have been fouled. With no whistle on the play. Sawyer Howard took it all the way to the rack and lost possession of the basketball. Wilcoxon, a Euro step inside. He's fouled on his way up.
Yeah, Coach Killen wanting a call on the contact down on this end, didn't get it. And then a nice job of Wilcoxon that time getting inside the three-point line, trying to get himself to the window and create something positive out of this. Now he can find a rhythm from the free throw line. That can translate out to the three-point line.
These 2.5 minutes really important for Central. You're trailing by 19 after the first shot is missed by Wilcoxon. And, 2.5 minutes, if you're able to outscore Lexington by just 5 to 7 to 9 points over
make it manageable.
The final 2.5 minutes of this, you can turn it into a 10-point game.
Yep.
Going into the final quarter. It makes it a little bit easier to digest rather than looking at that 4 up on the board and seeing you're trailing by 17.
Yeah, got to get a stop here on this defensive possession. If I'm Lexington right now in control, don't settle for bad shots. Keep working until you get exactly what you want. If that's patience that's required up top, have that patience that you need, but you're really trying to assert your will here. Central's coming out of the zone and going man, creating an isolation up top for White.
White pressured at the logo. He'll hand it off to Carlock. Calling for the screen. He gets it from White. Drives right. Skips all the way to the corner. Kilburn, his three-pointer on the way. No good, but 3 Golden Bears there to grab the offensive rebound. And none of them could pull it down. It just ricochets out of bounds off of them.
Yeah, tough break there, but if I'm Coach Killen, I love that possession. You got a great look off of patience and a backside kick out. Got the exact look you want. Kilburn has a nice release and has done a great job of finding the way to finish. Just didn't able to convert that one.
Three-pointer from Ball on the way. He knocks it down. Lexington shifted into a little bit of a 2-1-2 there. They're kind of changing up the zone looks. I think I've also seen a 1-3-1 thrown in there a little bit as well. So, just trying to make sure Central's not comfortable. Ball able to battle through that one and knock down the open 3 on that possession, however.
Yeah, we've seen him. Sorry to cut you off there. We've seen him pump fake and not be willing to take that shot. That time he steps into it with rhythm and knocks it down.
Central grabs the defensive rebound. And Lexington thought they knocked it out of bounds off of the Golden Bears.
They only paid 3 officials tonight, but we have an extra 65 here in the student section that are helping out a little bit. Disagree with that call.
44-28 is the lead for Lexington. 3 in the key is the call against Blake Johnson. Turns it over.
Yeah, it's the right call, but you just don't see that very often, but he never really just made an effort to move. Just came down, and he was wide open too.
Full timeout from Lexington, 45 seconds to go in the third. We'll take a quick break. You're watching high school basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent.
So it's been a pretty amazing journey with the Orion Amphitheater. The design was ambitious. It's pretty incredible, the caliber of artists that we've had through these doors. Bank Independent has been such a great partner because not only are they taking the stress of the finances off of our plate, but they're investing in us as we're investing in them. And I think that is a strong partnership. Obviously, they've done a fantastic job, and the spirit of what Bank Independent does is right there in the name.
Welcome back to Lexington High School. Lexington leads 44-28, 45 seconds to play. Big defensive possession coming up here for Central. A chance to get a stop and a score right before the half and cut into this deficit.
Yeah, curious to see what Coach Bryant does here out of the timeout. Lexington, you know, they've drawn up something on the offensive end of the floor, but how does Coach Bryant get his guys to engage a little bit differently? Does he go man here? Does he go run and jump here? Does he half-court trap? What does he do to kind of get things? This is a big possession to get a stop and could potentially turn this game around for them as they go into the fourth quarter.
Carlock controls it in the backcourt. He'll cross the timeline with 39 seconds to play in the quarter. Passes it off to White, over to Howard. Howard finds a cutting Carlock down at the left block, spins, bumps underneath, puts it up and in.
Yeah, really good patience on a great cut that time. Little curl cut to the middle, and then patience to finish over top of the defender.
Ball drives, gets up. He'll be fouled with 16 seconds left in the quarter.
That's a concept we haven't seen from Central all night long. The ball screen up top and the penetrate downhill. We've seen a lot of east to west stuff, and that time really just engaging into the defender that time might be something that we try to see Central do, see if they can get to the free throw line. Not very many fouls called in this half, but you're going to have to earn it.
Ball heads to the line for a chance at two, knocks down the first one. And you know, to what you said, I mean, it also feels like the first time Central's been able to create anything off the dribble.
Yeah.
I mean, not a ton of assists tonight, but it feels like most of their points have come off of passes, and Ball able to get to the rim by himself right there. Feels like maybe something to look forward to here in the fourth quarter for Central. White, full court pressure, hands it off to Carlock. Carlock's pass deflected. White taps it into the hands of Howard. 6 seconds on the clock. Howard, 3-2, three-pointer deep, no good. After 3 quarters, Lexington, the home team, leads 46-30. You're watching high school basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent. We'll take a quick break.
When we knew that we needed a commercial space, we knew we wanted to keep all of our business with Bank Independent. Everything else had been so wonderful that we felt like there was no need to shop around.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
Hey folks, you'll never guess where I'm at today. That's right, I'm at my Quick Mart store. Starting off with a fresh cup of coffee, and guess what's next? The biscuit. That was quick and easy, and I'm ready to start my day. Head on over to your favorite Quick Mart store and start your day out right.
Welcome back to Lexington High School. Start of the fourth quarter. Lexington leads Central 46-30. Central trails by 16, but felt like they had a nice offensive finish to the third quarter. Corey, a chance to really cut into that early in the third in this one as we've got a couple whistles.
Yeah, I thought that Central showed a couple of things in the last few possessions there that we hadn't seen for the first almost 3 full quarters. Curious to see if they try to take advantage of that or if those were just flukes coming out of that. Had a couple of issues here with the scoreboard. We dealt with that a little bit in the girls' game. Looks like they've got it figured out. Now it's gone completely blank. Probably just start the game over.
I'm sure Central had the choice. They would probably take that one. 7:43 looks like what we might land on. Still discussing at the table.
Yeah.
It's not what you want if you're either team right now.
No.
I mean, you just get psyched up to go into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And, I mean, long stoppage as the scoreboard cuts out once again.
Yeah, and you're really at this point, you're just trying to finish this game, stay healthy, continue to focus on getting better, get some guys, some opportunities off the bench. It's a big game for both of these teams. I mean, every one of these games in the county, they matter, regardless of what area you're in. These county games, they matter. There's the bragging rights that go along with that. So this game absolutely means something, even though it doesn't affect area standings. These players, these coaches, they want to get this game complete.
We'll try for a third time. Central to inbound. 7:53 is what we'll land on. They finally inbound, and Malik Ball with the basketball. Central mid-range jumper on the way from Johnson. No good. A quick shot from the Wildcats, rebounded by Lexington. Chambers all the way to the rim. He's fouled on the way up.
Yeah, he plays at two speeds, fast and electric. And when he decides to go into electric mode, he just takes off. He's either going to score or get fouled, or maybe both. That's another really nice look at the rim for him. Not the biggest guy on the floor, but, man, he plays hard and gets after it.
Chambers fouled. This is the first shot. He's fouled by Aiden Haddock. That'll be his second. The first team foul by either team in this final frame. If he misses this one, it might end up not being a bad foul for Central. Go ahead and get one on there. You're probably going to have to foul later in this quarter to stop the clock. So maybe go ahead and get Lexington towards that bonus as he knocks down one of the two. Wilcoxon swings it. Three-point attempt on the way. Haddock knocks it down.
It's 3 3-pointers for Haddock in the second half. Lexington just keeps losing him. Nobody else has been able to find any consistency from the three-point line. Going to have to make an adjustment there. Can't let that one guy get them back in the game.
Lexington able to beat the press, get it up to White, and White will drop it back off for Carlock. Swings it over to Chambers, drives, beats his man, inside, left-hand layup, gets it to go.
Yeah, on that closeout, if you're not on balance and forcing him to the outside, he's going to beat you back to the middle every time.
Central able to get it inside, but the close layup by Johnson rattles in and out. Carlock will slow it down. White all the way to the rim. Chambers, easy two on the pass from Carlock.
Yeah, you can see a mindset shift for Lexington. They want to run clock, but right now Chambers is just getting layups at the rim by penetrating hard. If they cut him off, he's going to kick it back out, but otherwise he's going to go in and take what they give him. No reason to pull back if you're getting layups right now.
Ball's pass intercepted underneath by Chambers. Lexington a chance to make it 20 on this possession. Chambers drive, beats his man off the dribble, hands it off underneath the White. Can't contain possession. Wilcoxon all the way to the rim, the other way, just a bit short. Offensive rebound to Ball. And batted out of bounds by Lexington.
Yeah, good clean play there in transition. You like seeing Wilcoxon go all the way to the rim. Lexington not giving up on the play from behind.
Wilcoxon gets the inbound. Ball forgot to mark the inbounder underneath. Ball just slips in for an easy layup.
Great decision by Wilcoxon that time. Had a three, decided to pull it down and immediately go inside.
Lexington able to break the press. White free throw line jumper. Back iron almost stopped and fell in, but rebounded by Aiden Haddock. Central trailing by 16, 5.5 to go. Haddock, deep three, knocks it down. 13-point lead. That's as few as it's been in the second half. We've got a timeout from Lexington on the way. We'll take a quick break with them. High school basketball on the X Sports Network. We'll be right back.
In 1947, A group of farmers in North Alabama started a bank because they believe a local bank investing in local people is the key to making a positive difference in the community. Locally owned and operated, Bank Independent is committed to investing in our local communities.
Those people.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Welcome back to Lexington High School. The Golden Bears lead 51-38 Central. The three-pointer from Aiden Haddock cuts it down to 13. And Corey, it's just so important for Lexington down this final stretch. You got to slow the game down, maintain possession of the basketball. Don't turn it over. The last thing you want to do is let Central run out in transition and get some quick, easy buckets.
Yeah, the things that you did that got you the lead, you can't go away from those things. And it's been taking care of the basketball and great shot selection. What you don't want to do is fall into the habit against this pressure of forcing up quick shots that you're not ready for. Central has to press for the remaining 5 minutes of this game to have a chance. They can't just play one possession at a time. They got to try to steal some extra possessions.
Jaden McDaniel checks in for Lexington and puts up a quick corner three.
Yeah.
And then the Golden Bears pick up a foul on the other end, and just like that, Central could make it a 10-point game on this possession.
Yeah, know where Haddock is the entire possession here. Every time he gives the ball up, make it harder for him to get it back.
Slip it down to Eddings in the corner, tries to drop it underneath. It's batted around a little bit. Wilcoxon able to come away with it, though. Johnson drives to the rim, puts it up. Gets it to go. May have been fouled on the way up as well. It's an 11-point ball game. 4 minutes, 45 to go. Stolen on the other end by Haddock. Hands it off. Wilcoxon floats it up for two. Just like that, it's a 9-point game. It's a quick 7-0 run for Central in under a minute of play.
Yeah, down 21 just a couple of possessions ago, seemingly. A couple of turnovers, couple of bad shots, and Central's converted on the other end. Exactly what you're trying to do. They've had a couple of times in this game where they've gone on some runs to get themselves out of huge deficits. Do they have enough left in the tank? With 4.5 minutes to go, can they get enough possessions and enough stops to be able to complete this comeback? Lexington on the other end of the floor, they've got to value the basketball and try to get to the rim. Don't settle for perimeter jumpers. Get to the free throw line, get to the rim, and hit layups and extend this game.
One thing to do, make a mental note of here if you're Central, you don't have anybody in foul trouble.
Right.
The whistles have been few and far in between. Speed up the pressure. Play a little bit more physical here.
Take some chances.
Try and foul.
Yeah.
Foul on purpose and see what you can get away with here. Because, you only have one team foul. And let's be honest, if you're not able to cut this deficit back from 9 with the last 4.5, you're going to need Lexington shooting free throws down the stretch.
Yeah.
Maybe just kind of speed that up a little bit. They're coming back out in the press right here. Wilcoxon at the point for it. Lexington to inbound. It will be Zane Kilburn handing off to Carlock.
Yeah, three-quarter court pressure here.
Carlock to Kilburn, back to Carlock. Carlock breaks it.
Yeah.
And Haddock picks up the foul.
Yeah, and again, you're fine with that foul because if he doesn't get the foul there, it's a layup. And so you'd rather make them have another possession, inbound the ball from the side. But again, take some chances, be a little bit risky, go for some turnovers. If you don't get it, then be okay with this contact and the steal. Don't give up open layups and don't give up open kick-out threes.
Carlock assessing the Central defense, looking for some help, picked up by Ball. They'll swing it over to Chambers.
Four corners look here for Lexington, trying to spread it out.
White skips it, cross pass to Kilburn. His three-pointer, no good, and Wilson. Central running out. Wilcoxon with the basketball. Haddock skips it over. Eddings didn't want it. Eddings and Haddock playing a little two-man game. Haddock almost stepped into a three right there. He'll hand it over to Ball instead. Eddings drives baseline, and he will draw the blocking foul. This one will go to Sawyer Howard. 3.5 to play. It's a 9-point lead for Lexington.
Yeah, one more possession here where Central's able to convert, and all of a sudden the pressure shifts. The pressure shifts to the shot-taking and shot-making ability of Lexington. You've had this big lead, and so suddenly it started to get away from you. Now you start to short-stroke shots. You don't finish the way that you were. It's a huge possession defensively for Lexington.
I'm curious if you feel the same way, Corey, but it feels like Lexington's gone away from the inside shot. I mean, they were able to get a lot going inside early with the offense from Will White, and then Chambers has been able to get to the rim, doing a great job at getting some easy buckets tonight, but it feels like they've kind of slipped away from that and gone towards shooting the three a little bit more, and it's laid off a little bit. It hasn't been falling as much, and it's kind of opened this game up for Central.
Yeah, credit to Central. They have forced them into taking some perimeter shots, some one-on-one contested looks, and Lexington hasn't been able to convert after building out that big lead by attacking the rim, by getting into the paint, getting a good paint touch. Central with it out of bounds underneath here. Big box set on the inbounds for them.
Ball wide open. Eddings is underneath, and Chambers nearly came down with the rebound, but it'll go out of bounds on him. Good look for Central underneath. Eddings maybe rushed it a little bit, didn't get all of his hand underneath the basketball, but Central will get a second shot at this one. They get it in. Will Coxon, jumper. No good, rebounded by Chambers.
Yeah, a couple of good looks there by Central, unable to convert, but Coach Bryant, you've got to be pleased with his execution on the out of bounds there. How do your guards handle pressure when it comes here? Central can't just lay off and let the clock run out.
Howard and Carlock playing a little keep-away game. Chambers has it at the logo. Hands it off to White at the three-point line. Back to Chambers. Chambers picked up by Blake Johnson. He'll dribble, drive, get it inside, and back out to Carlock. 30 seconds off the clock on this possession alone. Chambers underneath to White. He goes up. 2 points for Will White. That feels just like we were talking about what Lexington needed.
Yeah. Great patience that time. Nice cut there by Ball.
Ball, the give and go with Blake Johnson, hands it off, gets it right back for an easy two. It's back to 9. 2.5 minutes to play, and you've got to start fouling here soon if you're Central, because you need that bonus. Chambers and Carlock back and forth to one another. Chambers drives, guarded by Eddings. Eddings taps it from behind and into the hands of Ball.
Yeah, Ball. Trying to foul there and don't get the call, and results in a turnover.
Three-point attempt, no good from Malik Ball, rebounded by Will White. Baseline, basketball is lost by Zane Kilburn, and Haddock with another takeaway. Will Coxon tries to get to the rim, loses the basketball underneath. They'll say it's out of bounds on Lexington, much to the crowd's dismay, but you think that's I didn't call the contact going to the rim, so I'm going to leave the basketball right here.
But it's possible, because it was pretty clear from even here that the ball went off of Wilcox and out of bounds. But another possession for Central. How do they take advantage of it? And then what are they going to do on the defensive end?
Haddock is fouled going inside. They'll say it's on the floor.
Yeah. And again, if I'm Lexington, I'm okay with that foul. If you're going to foul because you're playing hard defense, foul before he has a chance to go up into the act of shooting. You don't have continuation in the high school game. Make them inbound, make them run more clock.
So this one's on Sawyer Howard. That'll be his 4th foul. Johnson drives, spins underneath, guarded by White. No good. Haddock, the second try. No good. Rebounded by White.
Yeah, a lot of fatigue setting in on the court right now. Guys are winded. There's not been a lot of substitutions, not a lot of depth for either one of these teams. And just guys are exhausted right now trying to fight through and finish this game.
White and Carlock back and forth while Central tries to foul, and Eddings will finally foul. Just the 3rd team foul of the 4th. They'll have to do it 2 more times to send Lexington to the line. Carlock to inbound on the offensive half of the floor for Lexington.
If you're Central now, you're free switching everything in your man. You're trying to put up pressure, force a turnover. If you don't get the turnover on the inbounds, go immediately into foul mode.
Chambers is fouled. 1 minute, 6 seconds. Fourth team foul, the next one. And Lexington will be shooting free throws. Lexington hadn't gone to the line a ton today.
Yeah,
6 free throw attempts in the first half, but very few here in the second.
Both of these coaches just giving all the energy and effort that they can, trying to will their team to finish this game out strong.
Ball picks up the foul. We'll send Carlock to the free throw line. 9-point advantage for Lexington. A chance to make it 11.
Yeah, credit to Central. They've been down 20 points or more 2 different times in this game, and they just have never stopped playing. Lexington has done a good job of getting what they want when they want it, and then they had a couple of moments where they've kind of fallen asleep a little bit, but then they pick it right back up. Both of these teams are playing really hard because these games absolutely mean something to them. I love seeing these kids compete here in February.
Carlock knocks down one. It's a 10-point lead. It's not the end of the world for Central if you don't come out on top in this game. You got a big weekend coming up. Wilcoxon's 3 won't go. Johnson gets the offensive rebound. Second try, no good. Rebounded by Sawyer Howard. Dangerous pass there from Lexington, and White is fouled by Haddock. 44 seconds to go. You know, big weekend coming up for both of these teams, and this is good practice. It's good practice for Central. Down 20, how much can you claw back behind from? And for Lexington, it's hard to play with a lead, and they've had the ability to play with that lead tonight. And you know, they kind of had some pushback from Central there a little bit in the late third quarter, early fourth. But feels like they've kind of settled in here in the last couple minutes and have really controlled the basketball game in the last 2.5.
Yeah, and a great opportunity for your players. Hit free throws. Clutch free throws down the stretch. These are the things that win basketball games for you, and seeing the ball go in just breeds confidence.
Ball fouled going up. Excuse me, they'll whistle him for the offensive foul. And Ball a little bit frustrated, has to be separated from the defender by the official after that one. Central brings in a line change for the end of this one, and that may be the waving of the white flag for the Wildcats. 36.9 to go. Central will empty the bench, and Lexington will do the same. Coach Bryant, Coach Killen, both getting their underclassmen in here. And the starting 5 for Lexington exits to a standing ovation, including senior Will White.
Yeah, hard-fought game by both teams tonight. Like this effort to get some of the underclassmen on the floor. Great way to send off your seniors if you're Lexington, coming out with a big win at home tonight. Seniors for Lexington. Aiden Chambers, number 0, had a great game tonight. Landon Carlock, also a senior. Number 10, Trenton Hanley, who's on the floor now. And then Will White, as we mentioned earlier, 1,000-point recipient. They honored him earlier in the game. Had a great night again tonight for the Golden Bears.
Lexington takes home the victory in the final regular season game of the season as both these teams look ahead to their area tournaments. Lexington comes out on top in this one, 56-44. Once again, I'm Bryce Balch, joined by my friend Corey Thomaston and our producer Sam Camp. Thank you for watching high school basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent.
Bank Independent. We're invested in you.